Hi everyone, Haley Gant here from Quest Trust Company. I'm really excited to give a brand new presentation for you guys. I know this year, 2020, we are halfway through the year and it has been absolutely crazy so far. So I've been really thinking about, and I wanted to give a presentation about how to get your retirement on track in 2020 this year. At Quest, it's a really common theme whenever we talk to our clients. We talk to a lot of people all around the country and we're realizing that through traditional means of saving for retirement, most Americans do not have enough saved for retirement, whether you are 20 years old, 30, 40, 50. It's a very common theme that, unless you've just been shoveling money into an IRA or unless you've had a self-directed IRA for several years, we're finding that a lot of people don't have enough saved. So I put a little presentation together for you guys. I don't think it's going to take a full hour like our normal classes, but I went and did a lot of researching online. I love statistics, numbers, percentages. So I did quite a bit of research just to find out where the average American sits in their retirement and what you need to do to get yourself where you need to be in order to actually be able to retire and live off of your retirement money one day. And ultimately have financial freedom and not have to work until you are 80 years old. So let me get switched over to my PowerPoint just really quick for you guys. My name's Haley. I'm an IRA specialist here at Quest Trust Company. I've been with Quest for about 4 years, but I have grown up around real estate and self-directed IRAs pretty much my entire life. My parents have been Quest clients since 2004. So I actually remember learning in high school about why my parents were buying certain properties in their self-directed IRA and the tax advantages of that. And to be honest, at the time, I was like, cool, don't really care. I was in high school, didn't really mean that much to me at the time. And, sure enough, here I am, almost 10 years later, 4 years later here at Quest, and I actually help teach people every single day about how to actually get their retirement on track. So I really hope you enjoyed today's presentation. We are streaming live on both YouTube and Facebook. So if you like today's presentation, be sure to comment, share it with your friends. It really kind of helps us get our education out there. And as you'll see through this presentation, most Americans are not as educated as they should be about their retirement account and about all of their different investment options that they have. So before I get into the presentation, I did just want to do a quick little promo announcement for QuestCon Live. QuestCon is going to be our biggest online event of the year. It is going to be July 10th and July 11th. It is just about pretty much exactly a month away from today. It's all day, 2 days, Friday, July 10th, Saturday, July 11th, and tickets are in early bird pricing right now. So if you guys are familiar with Quest, you know that most of our education is free, except for the larger scale events that we do throughout the year. We only do 1 or 2 paid events a year. And normally we do a really big expo in August. Obviously, with everything going on this year, we have decided to postpone the Quest Expo. So this will be our biggest online event of the year. And tickets are in pre-sales, $49 until June 15th, which is next Monday. And even better, if you're a Quest client, we actually have a special promotion for you where you'll get a free copy of the recording as well. So if you're a Quest client, shoot us an email, give us a call, and we'll be sure to get you registered with that special promo code. Quick disclaimer, like we give in every presentation at, there we go. At Quest, we provide a lot of education. What we do not provide is tax, legal, or investment advice. So this presentation, just like any other presentation that we give, is strictly for educational purposes only. We definitely encourage you to consult your CPA, your attorney, any of the proper professionals when you're dealing with things, as far as structuring deals, due diligence, things like that. Definitely always recommend you consult the right professionals there. Here's a little bit about what we're going to cover today. First part of the presentation is going to kind of cover a little bit of how much do you actually need to save for retirement. After that, we're going to go a little bit into, how much should you currently have saved? Not only how much do you need by the time you get to retirement, but how much should you have saved now, no matter what stage of your life that you are in. And, last but not least, pretty much the whole second half of the presentation is going to be how to get your retirement on track starting right now, because, unfortunately, the reality is most Americans are not on the right track to have enough saved for retirement. And, we don't want to be working until we're 90 years old. So, really going to cover just a lot of general topics today that will help you get to where you need to be and kind of put you in that right mindset so you can retire healthy and wealthy one day, with potentially tax deferred or tax free money. So, why is saving for retirement important? All of these things that you see here on the screen, when we get older, we want to be able to spend time with our family. We want to be able to have the security that we've got enough money to live off of and, enjoy the finer things in life once we get a little bit older. There's a lot of crazy things going on in the world right now, but no matter what is going on, you always want to keep in mind your long-term savings and wealth building strategy. So not enough people are thinking ahead 20, 30, 40 years from now till their retirement. And, the reality of it is, once you get into your 20s, 30s, and even like 40s and 50s, it is very, very important to start putting a plan in place so you have enough money and wealth build up so you can actually retire one day and enjoy those finer things in life. So this first number that's about to pop up here, a little bit of a scary statistic for a lot of people, but how much money do you need to save for retirement? Experts say that you should have anywhere from about $1.5 to $1.7 million saved by the time you hit retirement. Now, most people out there don't have that much saved, but the experts, I did a lot of research online with like Charles Schwab, Fidelity, NerdWallet, Investopedia. I fact checked a lot of these, and these numbers were pretty much the same on everywhere that I looked up. You average need about $1.5 to $1.7 million saved by the time you hit retirement. To kind of put it like for your own personal situation, most Americans will spend about 55 to 80% of their pre-retirement income each year to maintain their lifestyle. So if you think about how much money you're making this year, you are still going to need about 55 to 80% of that on an annual basis to maintain your lifestyle. And this is actually something really cool that I found. It's this thing, it's called the 4% rule, where if you're trying to figure out how much money overall you need to save for retirement, kind of put that number in your head. How much money a year am I going to need in my retirement? Divide that figure by 4%, so 0.04, and that will give you an estimate of how much money that you need to save for retirement. So the 4% rule is, it's a really great way to kind of figure out how much money you'll actually need to save. And you'll see that these figures are right on par here. For example, if you need $50,000 a year in your retirement, you should plan to save about $1.25 million by the time you start retiring. Let's raise that up a little bit. If you need $80,000 a year in retirement, maybe you want to go on some more vacations, go on cruises, travel the world. If you need $80,000 a year in your retirement, you should plan to save about $2 million. So, these figures are scary to a lot of people because, with your current saving strategy, you might not be getting yourself there. But, the 4% rule, $1.5 to $1.7 million is kind of a good base of where you should be setting your goal of what you are actually going to need to be able to retire one day. How much should you currently have saved? So according to Fidelity, they, kind of give a good figure of you should plan on saving about 15% of your annual income each year in order to get yourself to where you need to be by you hit retirement. They also kind of gave these figures here, which I thought was kind of cool. By the time you hit 30 years old, you should have about 1 times your annual salary saved. By the time you hit 40 years old, you should have about double your annual salary saved. This is where it gets a little scary. By the time you hit 50 years old, you should have about 6 times your annual salary saved for retirement. From the time you are 40 years old to the time that you turn 50 years old, that figure multiplies by like 4. 2 times to 6 times. That's a lot of money to be saving within just a 10-year period. And you can kind of see how it goes up from there. But when I talk about starting now, starting young, even if you're not young, the best time to start saving was yesterday. The second best time to start saving is today. So, you're never too old or too young to start saving for retirement. But a little bit later in the presentation, I'm going to talk about compounding interest and compounding growth. In order to get yourself from the time you're 40 years old, having double your salary saved, to the time that you're 50 years old, having 6 times your annual salary saved, the power of compounding interest and compounding growth is really truly what's going to get you there. And it's something that you really want to keep in mind when you're thinking about how are you saving for retirement and how are you investing your money to help grow your nest egg for retirement and help get you kind of on par to where you need to be. And, it's kind of funny, doing all the double checking. I hate to give a presentation and someone kind of calls me out if my numbers are wrong. If you do the math here, when you turn 67, 10 times your annual salary, if you're planning on, like $50,000 a year, these figures actually still do not get you to that $1.5 to $1.7 million. This is just kind of a base of what they recommend, but even still, this might or might not be enough for you. So very important, these principles to kind of keep in mind, again, no matter what stage of your life you're in. Do Americans have enough saved for retirement? I think you could probably gather this information by now, but most do not. According to a study by the Government Accountability Office in 2019, 48% of Americans over 55 do not have any retirement nest egg or pension plan. That is really scary. I know like Social Security is out there. I don't know where Social Security is going to be 20 to 40 years from now, but the reality of it is a lot of people have not been saving properly with that long-term plan like they should for retirement. 68% of workers feel that they don't know as much about their retirement as they should. More than half, almost 70% of Americans out there feel like they're not as educated as they should be on their retirement savings and how to get themselves to their goals that they need to be in their life. Really scary figure there. And 22%, luckily this one's just a little bit lower, but still over a fifth of workers in America admit that they have no idea how their retirement is invested. So, at Quest, we really emphasize doing a lot of education. If you watch our videos, we're posting like 3 to 5 classes a week. We're posting different YouTube videos every week. We, from our own personal experience going out and talking to people pretty much all around the country, we have seen this firsthand where, most Americans don't have enough saved. Maybe they had an IRA and took a distribution or they never started one. And they feel like they're not as educated as they should be. There's a lot of times we go out and talk to people at Quest and, we go through the consultation, we tell them about all these awesome things that you can do with a self-directed IRA. And almost every single time the reaction that we get is, wow, I really wish I would have known about you guys 5 or 10 years ago. So, again, the best time to get started is yesterday. The second best time to get started is today. So, these figures are kind of scary, but you have this opportunity to educate yourself, align yourself with the right resources like Quest Trust and our IRA Specialist, where you can really get that proper education. So you know how much, you can be able to save for retirement and how to actually get yourself there. So do Americans have enough saved for retirement? This is from Fidelity. This is the average 401k amount saved by different age groups. So as you can see, we are not where we need to be. Age 20 to 29, the average 401k is about $10,000. It goes up to 38,000, 93,000. These are averages. There's definitely people out there that are saving enough, but there's a lot of people out there that are not. Remember, Fidelity recommends that you maybe save around 15% of your annual income for your retirement savings. You can see here with the different age groups, this is the percentage of the annual income that is being contributed to a 401k account. So as you can see, it's 7%, 8%, 10%. And you do see it goes up a little bit once you kind of reach age 50. And a lot of that is due to catch-up contributions. So once you turn 50, you do have the ability to put just a little bit more into your IRA or 401k each year, but the time to start contributing is now. When you're young, again, you've got a lot of opportunities for compounding growth on your retirement savings. So, this is just kind of an average of what people are saving out there. As you can see, it's probably not enough. So, again, we just really try to educate people as much as possible about all of the different options that you have for your retirement funds. So, as you can see, you need probably a little bit more than you thought to save for retirement and actually be able to live off of those funds one day. You can see that Americans are not saving enough. So let's talk a little bit about the positives. How do you get yourself on track starting right now this year? How do you get on track? start putting money away today, whether it's in your 401k, in an IRA. You want to make sure that you are setting money aside each year to save for your retirement. But not just saving, you want to learn how to invest your money. Now, there's a lot of experts in the stock market out there. Personally, I am not an expert in the stock market. My knowledge and expertise lies in real estate. So I invest my money into real estate investments and promissory notes, pretty much all of the types of investments that we hold here at Quest. But the reality of it is you want to have your money invested somewhere so your money is making you more money and just compounding on itself over the course of your lifetime. So don't just save, don't just leave your money sitting idle, learn how to invest it and learn about what all of your different investment options are. If you are employed where you have a 401k or a 403b, maybe a thrift savings plan, any type of account you have through your employer, take advantage of that employer matching. That is free money. Now, the only slight caveat to this is while you're still currently employed where you have your 401k, there's a good chance that you're not going to be eligible to move those funds anywhere else until you no longer work at that company. But if your employer is matching your 401k contributions, definitely take advantage of that because that is free money. And as you saw in a couple of slides ago, how much of your annual income are you saving for retirement? Maybe it's only 7 to 10 to 12%. But if your employer is matching your contributions, that might get you up to that 15% that they say that will be enough for you to hopefully retire one day. Understand your different buckets of money. So this is what we really educate a lot on at Quest is, at Quest we hold IRA accounts, but we actually have 7 different types of accounts that you can self-direct at Quest. I will go into these in a little bit more detail in a couple of slides, but understand the different buckets of money that you can put money into to save for retirement. Your 401k, your IRA, maybe a health savings account, maybe just a brokerage account, maybe a savings account. You want to understand the different buckets of money that you can put money into and that you can invest with those different types of accounts. That way you can get to where you need to be for your retirement savings. And kind of create some goals for yourself. Sit down, look at, okay, that 1.25, that $1.5 million figure is really scary when you think about it. But create some goals for yourself, put a plan in place, kind of think about how much do I want to have for my retirement? How much do I want to travel? Do I want to live in a nice house or maybe I just want to live in a tiny house? Tiny houses are so popular these days because they have that really low cost of living, but kind of align your savings and investment strategies with your long-term goals. So if you kind of backtrack, do the math, set maybe a year-long goal for yourself, a 5-year goal, a 10-year goal, kind of creating those milestones for yourself will help to get you where you need to be. So to kind of recap on this slide, because this is super, super important. How do you get on track? Start today. Don't just save, learn how to invest your money, take advantage of the free money out there and understand how to grow these accounts and create goals for yourself. So I really like this slide here. How do we save for retirement? We've kind of been through the numbers, things like that, but this is traditionally how people save for retirement. You go to school, you get a good job, you earn money, and with that money that you earn from your job, you save. And then once you start saving money, you find places to invest your money, whether it's stocks or mutual funds or real estate or notes or private entity investments like we hold here at Quest. Ultimately, saving and wealth building is about earning money, saving money, and investing money. Now, where the different kind of schools of thought, where they kind of differ is a lot of people put most of the emphasis on earning and saving. Go to school, get a good job, earn as much money as you can, save as much as you can. So hopefully you have enough to retire one day. Earn and save, earn and save. That's what a lot of people have really been trained to do. But here's where the magic lies is investing. Earn your money, save your money, learn how to put, maybe just small amounts into different buckets of money and learn how to invest those to take advantage of, investment growth, reinvest those funds, have even more growth. And by the time you hit retirement, you've now got a much larger nest egg for yourself because you've been investing your money into various different types of investments that's, earning you passive income. So again, investments, how I really like to say it is not saying savings accounts are bad, but you want to know about all of the investment vehicles that you have available to yourself and know about the different types of investments you can hold on them. That way you can get yourself on track and have enough money to, retire one day. Okay, so saving money in an IRA. I kind of already got to this point a little bit, but just to kind of drive the point home even further, these are the marginal tax brackets for 2020. So you as an individual, unfortunately, will always be a taxpayer. If you're making decent money, you're paying anywhere from 20 to 30, upwards of 37% of your income back to Uncle Sam each year. So, although you might be earning money, saving money, earning money, saving money, you are paying a good chunk of your income back to Uncle Sam each year. Whereas if you take advantage of holding some of your investments in an IRA, making your yearly IRA contributions, your IRA is completely exempt from these taxes as it grows from your different investments each year. So it's a really great opportunity to shelter your investments from income taxes and capital gains taxes to help you save more for retirement. Now, I was an economics major. I went to Texas A&M. So I always like to think of the opportunity cost of me as a taxpayer losing 30% of my income back to Uncle Sam each year. If I'm doing those investments in an IRA instead, and that growth is not losing 30% of its value each year, you can see how that money can probably compound on itself much, much more over the course of your lifetime, over the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years. You really have a great opportunity to grow funds in an IRA. And IRAs were actually designed to help Americans save for retirement. IRAs were created in the 70s, and you get special tax advantages to hopefully help you have incentives to put money in there, invest that money to help you save more for retirement. So just kind of drive the point home even further, never underestimate the power of compounding growth, and having some of your investments sheltered in an IRA is a fantastic way to do that. So IRAs are great. Now, what is a self-directed IRA? This is what we actually specialize in here at Quest. With a self-directed IRA, to be honest, self-directed IRA is really just a marketing term. There's actually no legal distinction between the IRAs that we hold at Quest and an IRA that you have at any other custodian like Fidelity or Charles Schwab. Any of those more traditional custodians that hold publicly traded investments like stocks and mutual funds, we hold the same exact types of IRAs, but the biggest difference is at Quest, you actually have full control over where your money is invested, and you have the ability to invest your funds into privately held assets. So investments such as real estate, promissory notes, and private placement investments, you can do all of those within an IRA and shelter those investments from your own income taxes and capital gains taxes each year. This allows you to diversify your IRA, shelter your investments from those taxes. And one kind of really cool thing is when you're investing with a self-directed IRA is you can actually see a positive impact on the community around you from your IRA investments. If you have someone else controlling your money, it's all invested in stocks on Wall Street, you actually don't really know where your money is working day to day. And it might not actually be working somewhere that you would like it to be working. So having your funds in a self-directed IRA, you're choosing the investments for that account. You are structuring those investments. You're doing the due diligence. You can actually see the social impact of the benefits that has on your community around you. And, as real estate investors, you have a special skill set that a lot of Americans might not have. Remember, 64% of Americans consider themselves savers and not investors. So as an investor, you have a special skill set that a lot of people don't have, and you have the ability to apply your skill set to investments that you can hold in your IRA that grow completely tax deferred or potentially tax free. So it's a really great way to grow your money and potentially take some of those 401k or IRA funds that you have that might just be sitting there, maybe not doing much right now. Remember, one of the most important ways to get yourself on track for your retirement is to make sure that your money is working somewhere. Whether it's a set interest rate, whether it's real estate, flipping properties, rentals, you want to make sure that you are growing your money and not just putting it aside to, have that same amount 30 years from now. Going back to the different buckets of money, these are the 7 different types of plans that can be self-directed here at Quest. And what's nice is all of these plans are, kind of totally independent of each other. There's no limit as far as how many IRAs you have. Overall, each type of plan will have its own yearly contribution limits, but you have the ability to maybe roll that old 401k over into a traditional IRA and self-direct it, hold a completely different class of assets in there. But you also have the ability to do investments in a Roth IRA. The Roth IRA and the health savings account and the education savings account are going to grow completely tax-free as long as your distributions are qualified distributions, which I'll kind of get to in a second. You will never pay any income taxes or capital gains taxes on distributions from a Roth IRA, a health savings account, or an educational savings account. Now, the other types of accounts are great as well because they still grow tax deferred. None of that growth will be taxed until you actually go to take those distributions out later at retirement. But for example, the traditional IRA, if you have a 401k that you've left that job, 9 times out of 10, those funds will roll over into a traditional IRA without any tax implications. And now you have a lot more freedom as far as where you choose to invest those funds. And one thing I will just kind of touch on here is that all of these plans on this screen here are considered self-directed IRAs. So again, self-directed isn't a specific type of account that we hold here at Quest. Self-directed is really just a marketing term that we use to kind of show that you actually get to choose your own investments for your IRA account. If you're really looking to put as much money as possible into an IRA, the employer plans here in the middle could be a great way to do that. For example, the SEP IRA, you can contribute 25% of your self-employment income that you pay yourself up to $57,000 each year. Now, again, it's not about how much money you can shovel into these accounts, but it's about having the right knowledge of, hey, how much, maybe put a little bit in each type of account each year, and then utilize your skills and expertise to invest those funds, maybe creative deal structures, things like that, leveraging your network so you can have your tax sheltered money in these accounts growing completely tax deferred or tax free over the course of your entire lifetime. And all of these accounts can be self-directed. And what's cool is you can actually partner these accounts together as well. So multiple buckets of money, you can partner them all together and grow it all completely tax deferred or tax free. Now, I'm not going to go into each types of accounts contribution limits. Feel free to take a picture of the screen if you want to. But I left this slide in here because, if you don't have an IRA, it's always a great time to get started. And 2020, as you guys know, is kind of a crazy year so far, only halfway through it. But since they have extended the tax filing deadline for 2019 up to July 15th of this year, you can still max out all of your 2019 contributions up until July 15th. If you have not maxed out those contributions yet, or if you don't have an IRA, you're looking to put money in, get those 2019 contributions in before July 15th. If you guys are watching the replay of this video and it's after July 15th, I am sorry. I hope you made your contributions, but you can still make your 2020 contributions. And again, it is never too late to start. There's so many ways to grow a small IRA, whether it's through partnering, small deals, creative deal structures. We have a lot of other classes about that, but there's a lot of ways that you can grow this money and take advantage of that completely tax-free compounding growth in your IRA. So again, what if I don't have an IRA? Open one now. No excuses, start making contributions and learn how to invest that money and maximize your gains. Maximize your contributions to different types of accounts for you and your family, and learn how to partner these accounts together. This can help to pay for multi-generational wealth, health expenses, and educational expenses, and your retirement expenses, all completely tax-free or tax-deferred, depending on what type of account you have. So with an IRA, like I was mentioning, you have a lot of different options as far as where you choose to invest your funds. Most traditional custodians hold publicly traded assets like stocks, mutual funds, things like that, where at Quest, we specialize in holding privately held assets. So these types of investments you see here on the screen, you can hold any of these in an IRA and potentially avoid taxes altogether on the growth. This could be like rental properties, fix and flips, apartment complexes, commercial deals, passive investments into, larger privately held LLCs, things like that. Or we see a lot of promissory notes. We see a lot of people that like to use their IRAs to be completely passive private lenders, maybe to other real estate investors on their deals. And all of the money that you earn from these investments goes back into your IRA, completely tax deferred or tax free. Now, here's where the value comes in. Say you fix a real estate property, you do a fix and flip, potentially over the course of less than a year, you could make like $30,000 to $50,000, just as an example, on a fix and flip. Now, do this investment in an IRA. Now, all of that profit from that deal, that $30,000 to $50,000, when that property sells, goes back into your IRA. It does not go on your own personal tax return, and you could immediately turn back around and reinvest those funds with your IRA. Now, imagine doing this maybe once or twice a year, maybe 3 times, however many real estate investments you guys are doing. Think about that, $30,000 to $50,000. Maybe you're loaning your money out, maybe at a set interest rate. Compound that growth over the course of your lifetime, and you will get yourself to that $1.5 to $1.7 million figure by the time you hit retirement. It's definitely not impossible, but having the right knowledge of the different types of investments you can hold in your IRA and having the right knowledge of how these deals can be structured can be a great way to shelter these investments and, get yourself to where you need to be by the time you hit retirement. And to kind of wrap it up, how do you truly maximize your self-directed IRA investments? Learn the types of accounts that you can contribute to and how you can use multiple IRAs together on investments. Learn about your different investment options as well as IRS rules and restrictions. We go into these rules in a lot of our other types of classes. We also do free consultations. But when you're self-directing your IRA, it's definitely good to be aware of the IRS rules to make sure that you are following those. To maximize your IRA investments, you want to make sure that you use professionals to structure your deals properly. Have an exit strategy. What if this happens? If your deals are structured properly, you have a greater chance of protecting your investment and ultimately protecting your retirement nest egg and continue to build that wealth. Utilize creative investment strategies, including partnering and other strategies to grow small accounts, large accounts. Creative investment strategies can be applied to any size IRA and help you build more wealth, tax deferred or tax free. And, last but not least, align yourself with other people that are doing this. Have your goals set in mind, set milestones for yourself and go out there and surround yourself with people in your network that are like-minded. They have similar goals in mind as you. Maybe you want to have multiple streams of income, maybe you want to hold rentals, maybe you want to do apartments, things like that. If you align yourself with other investors that are doing these same types of investments that you're interested in, you're going to have the right tools in your tool belt that will help you be successful. And, as always, ask an IRA specialist for help. At Quest, one thing that really sets us apart is our knowledge and expertise that, we train our staff with. We have about 15 IRA specialists on our staff. We have about 35 CISPs, which is a certified IRA services professional. And we're here to help answer your questions. We do free consultations every day of the week, Monday through Friday. And what's nice is, at Quest, again, we're neutral. We're not financial advisors that make commissions off of where you invest your money. So we are here to truly help educate you about all of your options. Whichever route you decide to go with it is totally up to you. And, we're kind of here to help facilitate the account and, help you get your funds moved over, help you make those contributions once you decide that this is the route that you would like to go. Now, quick kind of commercial about who is Quest Trust Company. We are the largest self-directed IRA custodian in the state of Texas. I'm based in Houston. That's where our corporate office is. We do also have offices in Dallas and Austin. We were founded in 2004, so we've been around for about 16 years. We are experts when it comes to investing into non-traditional assets with an IRA, such as real estate, promissory notes, and private entity investments. And we have about $2 billion in assets under management with about 20,000 clients nationwide. We also do a ton of free education. This class, along with several others, are available on our website, on our YouTube page, and our Facebook page as well. So we've really got a ton of opportunities for you guys. And again, don't forget that we have QuestCon coming up on July 10th and July 11th, where you can get some more of that higher knowledge education from some of our national speakers that we like to bring out for our larger events, like the Quest Expo. That's actually the picture that you see here. That's our founder and president, Quincy Long and Nathan Long. They're brothers, and they've founded Quest with great company values. And it's really what's helped our company grow and become, really leaders in our industry, because we think like real estate investors think. So we're here to help you guys build more wealth through your real estate investments and learn how to do those in an IRA so you can shelter them from your own income taxes and capital gains taxes each year. So kind of already mentioned this, where can I find more resources? Give us a call. We have several IRA specialists on staff. We do not have any automated or recorded phone lines. It's always very easily to get a hold of us. And, we all kind of help each other out. If one IRA specialist is doing a webinar, someone else is available for calls. We're always here to help answer those questions for you. We do a lot on Facebook. We've got a lot on our website and YouTube as well. And again, we have QuestCon coming up on July 10th and July 11th. So here's QuestCon again. Tickets are an early bird right now, $49. If you are a Quest client, you will get the recording for free. Just send us an email or give us a call. We'll get you that promo code. It is not available publicly online because you do have to be a client to get that for free. But we've got a ton of speakers coming up, 2 days full of education. And I hope you guys register for that event and get your pre-sale ticket so you can save a little bit there. It's going to be our biggest online event of the year. Here's my direct contact information for you, haley.gant@questtrust.com. I do a lot of these webinars, a lot of our business development, but I also do a lot of client consultations as well. So if you're looking to learn more, send me an email directly, give us a call, or go like us on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, all of those fun social media sites. We've got a ton of resources for you. And ultimately, the goal is to help you get your retirement on track, help you set your goals of where you need to be so we are not all 80 years old still working our jobs. So we can actually retire healthy and secure one day with our financial freedom. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's class. I can't see anything but my presentation right now, but once I get out of the screen, I'll be able to see your comments and things like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and that's all I've got for you. Get your ticket to QuestCon, and y'all have a fantastic day. See you later.